Hi everyone, my name is Toles and welcome to my channel. So today, spend a day with me. It's going to be like a vlog style. Spend 2 days really with me as I go on a walk outside. I'm going to show you my look in a bit because it's quite cold. So this time last year, I was in Italy. I was exploring the Tuscany region of Italy. So I went to 3 cities in one day. It was a day trip to Pisa, to Lucca, and to Livorno. So today, just walk through with me as I tell you about my experiences on a day trip in Tuscany. Let's go. So if you know me, you know I do not like layers, but it's really cold and I just have to layer up. So this is what my look looks like. Let me just, yeah, this is what we're looking at. This really warm wool jacket and my uttermost travel set. These are really, really warm. And boots, of course, because it snowed. So I'm sure there's still a lot of snow to where I'm going. And of course, I have to wear some gloves. It's quite warm outside. Actually, the sun is out. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so we are outside now, and as you can see, it is quite snowy. Okay, so let's get into it. But before we do that, have you subscribed to my channel? If not, why not? What are you waiting for? Come on, join. And please, I am trying to get to monetization before the end of the year. So your views, your subscribership, yes, will really help me get there. Okay, so let's get into spend a day with me in Lucca, Pisa, and Livorno. Alrighty, it is so beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen it like this before. Yeah, like look how blue the water looks. I love how it looks exceptionally blue. I think the plows are coming through to just really plow it over here. I really just wanted to take a walk, but I might just need to go find somewhere else to be able to do that. Anyways, let's actually get into it this time. So today, spending a day with me from Florence. So I actually was based in Florence, and the idea was to do a day trip to the little cities around. So today's day trip looks like taking the train from Florence to Pisa, so to go see the Tower of Pisa, and then from Pisa I am going to be going to Lucca. So between Florence and Pisa, it's about an hour 15 minutes train. So I got up very early in the morning. I think I left Florence about 6:30, and so from Florence to Pisa I spent a few hours, I think 3 hours or so in Pisa, checking out the Pisa complex. And then from Pisa is kind of like a central station. From Pisa I take a train to Lucca. So Lucca is just this really walled in city, and it's about a half an hour train ride between Pisa and Lucca. And then from Lucca I have to get to Livorno, but then I have to pass through Pisa first because there isn't a direct train from Lucca to Livorno. So I go from Lucca to Pisa, which is another half an hour back, and then from between Pisa and Livorno is just 15 minutes. It's really quite close. So yeah, that's what my day will look like. So let's get into it. First, we are going to be going to Pisa first. Like I said, got up really early in the morning and just took the train. The Florence terminal is very, very busy. It's always really, really busy. It's a hub. A lot of people also work outside of Florence, so that's their hub station. So the train ride was pretty cool. You know, as I was on the train, I was just thinking about how in many parts of Europe, it's so easy to just hop on a train and just go wherever, as opposed to in Canada, especially if you live in the suburbs like I do. Just drive, because if you don't, like trying to go to Toronto from where I live, on a regular day if you drive it's like a 45 minutes, but to take a train might be a good 2 hours or 3 hours. So we can't even talk about everywhere else after Toronto. So anyways, yeah, the ease of just train transport in Europe I really appreciate. And this train I was taking to Florence, it wasn't too busy, very clean. You know, it's what we would liken to our GO Transit here in the Greater Toronto area. But anyways, yeah, an hour 15 minutes. Because I got up early, I took a nap a little bit also on the train, and it was still dark. So when it got bright, I was able to just kind of see the sides, and it was just a pretty train ride. Anyways, now we are in Pisa, and my goal is to get to the Pisa complex, the Duomo complex, where you see the cathedral, where you see the Tower of Pisa. And that's actually about, so from the Pisa Central, it was about how many minutes? Like I started to take a bus, right? I could have just taken an Uber, but I think it was like a small town, so I didn't even want to deal with like Uber or taxis or whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the bus. So I took the bus. It was very confusing, but I did it. Break in transmission. My walk had to be cut short a little bit because I was planning to actually come through here, because this is actually a walkway. I was planning to come through here, but then I realized it actually hasn't been plowed, so they're just doing it now. So rather than continue to walk that way, because I could either just go this way and then just go back, or go that way and go around. That's a longer route. Or I could just turn back around to where I was coming from. And that looks like the logical plan right now, because I'm gonna have to still go through that mess I came through that I was trying to avoid. But let's see how that goes. Okay, so I decided to go the long way because I wasn't trying to get through the snow. Like, this is just a lot to get through. This is quite high right here, so I'm gonna just go back. Plus also the guy plowing told me that there's one that's open all the way, so that's where I'm trying to get through to. Anyways, so now we're in Pisa. Finally got to the Duomo complex, and initial first impression, I was like, wow. You know, when you've seen something online or on the computer, on the internet or on TV for so long, and you actually get to be there in person, it feels so unreal. And honestly, that was exactly what it felt like being at the Duomo complex. It was just so surreal, and it's like, wow, this is the Tower of Pisa. Even just like entering already, you can see people are like taking their like, oh, I'm holding or I'm pushing against the Tower of Pisa photos. So it was just really interesting to see that, because I was just laughing. Obviously, if I had gone with somebody, I would have done those silly ones too. I think I still ended up doing something similar. Anyway, so it's a bit of a walk, and then you just see like the complex and all this glory. So in the complex, there's the Tower of Pisa, there is the cathedral, there is a baptistry, which is where, you know, people used to get baptized. There is a cemetery, or Camposanto, it's called. Weird enough, the cemetery is actually was my favorite part of the entire complex. It's so serene, it's so peaceful. It was just, I don't know, I just really liked being there. And of course, I climbed the Tower of Pisa. It took about 15 minutes, like if you have like moderate exercise level, like moderate health or exercise level. It took about 15 or 20 minutes. I was stopping a lot because I just wanted to pace myself. And then climbing back down was like a breezy 7 minutes, like it was. And yeah, you can actually feel the tilt a little bit as you're going up. I forgot some facts about the Tower of Pisa. Maybe I'll just put some on the screen here, and also just for you to Google it. But it's just a really beautiful architectural wonder. I think it's just really fascinating. So after I did that, so I actually checked out the baptistry as well. I checked out the cathedral. It was really cool, like seeing the cathedral, because I actually saw somebody, like, so one of the workers actually was restoring what was he doing? Yeah, it was restoring some of the stones or some of the parts of the door, and it just made you realize, wow, like they really do this manually. It wasn't like, you know, they get a machine. Like, it was chiseling through it, removing the old one, and I'm sure they're gonna put in the new one. So that was pretty cool to see. So now let me show you the Camposanto that I thought was really really beautiful and cool. So yeah, like they said, this path is completely open. So now I can make my way back to where I was coming from. Do you know what this is reminding me of? Like this walk outside, because I obviously haven't walked outside like this in this extreme cold. I believe it's about -6 degrees Celsius right now. It reminds me of the time where I didn't used to drive, and I lived in a small town, St. Catherine's, and every time it snowed, it's already a small town, so the buses don't come as often, but when it snows, dear Lord, like it's even worse. Like, you could be an hour apart. And the crazy thing about it is that because obviously there's inclement weather, you don't know like what the schedule is now, because everything is all turned upside down. So you're standing at a bus stop that doesn't have a shelter, and you don't know if to run quickly into the store to grab something warm or wait there before the bus comes, because you don't know. And there's been times where I would go quickly, like, oh, let me run quickly and go get something in the store, and as I'm like right at the store, I turn around and the bus just passed, and I'm just so angry. You know, at that time, like, you didn't really have money like that to take a taxi, so it's just really cool to just, you know, when you remember the times in the past, to just kind of see how far you've come, and just, you know, thank God for just growth. You know, that's really what it is, growth. Because now I'm walking outside in the cold, not out of necessity, but just because I want to. And, you know, I just think that's just really cool and interesting to think of. It's very interesting because when I moved into this area, there wasn't much sale in this section of the area, but it's really interesting to see now a lot of people are actually selling, because I remember I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get one of those, because the views, the lakefront views, oh, so beautiful. But yeah, I'm actually gonna go check out online to see what these ones are going for now, because people haven't sold here in like 6-7 years, which is a long time. Okay, so I'm going to a different area now. Usually when I go walking, I always like to go by the water. So I see a bunch of people are threaded here. Anyways, let's get back to Lucca. So for Lucca here, I don't even know if you can see, here are the places that I was deluded to thinking that I was gonna go in. I think I gave myself 2 hours to stroll along the city wall. So Lucca is a city of 100 churches. I'm going to stroll along the city walls. I'm just going to go to St. Marian Cathedral. I just wanted to see some of the really cool churches. And the really cool thing about the walls is that, like, the walls are as wide as, it's wide enough to take 2 cars going side by side, which I did. As you can see, I didn't even realize this was the wall they were talking about. So yeah, as you can see, I just came down the wall. So the wall is definitely wide enough to walk on. It's literally like 2 roads. All right, let's go see our very first. But Lucca is definitely a city I would like to go back to. I was gonna go to Torre, which is essentially like a sky garden. So there's this tower. Somebody see Torre? It's like tower. There's this tower with like these oak trees, like a really cool garden at the top of it. Just look at it. Like, I really loved being here. It was so like mellow. Like the breeze, you can see the entire city from there. I loved it. And then I was gonna go to Piazza del Anfiteatro, so that's like their main square, which I did go to, you know, with the tall yellow buildings. This is really a nice place to just have dinner or lunch as you're kind of breaking up your day. But this really weird cathedral that I wanted to go to is, I'm reading, it's Chiesa di San Michele in Foro. Yeah, Chiesa di San Michele. So I really went there. Apparently on the altar there's this mummy of like one of the saints, one of the leaders in the church, like a long time ago, a mummified corpse, and it's right at the altar in like a transparent coffin. And I'm like, that's a lie. That is like, no. But yeah, yes, it was there. But then I was like, is this really the true one though? Because, you know, a lot of times we really try to, you know, put some like mystery and like some like weirdness around something and spookiness around it to just kind of increase its market value so that a lot of tourists will come see it. So honestly, I was like, is this really the really dead body? It looks really real though. But yeah, this is it. It was very creepy and it wasn't, I don't know, I was just like, I was in between, like, is it real? Is it fake? Is it real? Is it fake? Anyways, you go visit yourself and let me know. Livorno is the last place that I went to, and Livorno is usually called Little Venice because it's kind of built like Venice, but quite small. And I really loved. So I ended up in Livorno by evening time, like the sun was setting. So just seeing the sunsets, the golden hues along the boats, it was really nice. And also just again reflecting against the water, that was really cool as well. So Livorno, I really just rushed through it because by then I'm like, oh, it's about like almost 6 p.m. and I didn't want to be there like till nightfall and be kind of confused about getting home. So I just kind of rushed through. I went to like one of the Terrazza Mascaliani. Again, I don't know if I'm saying these things right, but it was just really nice terrace. There was boardwalk by the water where people go walking and stuff. And what else? Where else did I go? Oh, I went to have dinner. So you're supposed to have this seafood meal. I forget what it's called. It's like a Livorno original. I didn't like it. It was supposed to be mussels, fish, shrimps, squid. Like, it was just supposed to be a seafood medley. I just thought it was kind of gross, but I didn't say that at the restaurant. But I think part of it was because I went low season. Most of the seafood were like frozen, so it wasn't as fresh. So maybe if I go there in the summer, I'm gonna try it again and see what it's like. My nose is running, but I had to switch to my phone because my DJI Pocket died. But yeah, so I had the seafood meal and then had to rush back to the train station. So also too, between the train station and the places I needed to check out in Livorno, they were quite like far apart from one another. So the thing is, getting around Livorno again is either a taxi, which I didn't really know how to navigate, so I just took the bus. And their buses don't come as often, and it's just like in St. Catherine's, the schedule is not really quite certain. So I think I eventually had to take a taxi at some point from those that were kind of going on the street, because I didn't want to miss my train. I also bought a train ticket with, like, I bought a certain time, so I didn't know if I could use another time slot, like go on another train, even though I had missed like the one before. So I just didn't want to risk it, and I'm not trying to, like, you know, deal with people that pretend like they don't speak English and like, oh, only Italian. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna make the exact time. So thankfully I made the time. I made it in time. By the time I got back to Florence, it was about, I think, 9 p.m. Because from Livorno I had to go to Pisa first and then transfer from Pisa to Florence. It's getting really cold. I'm gonna run back inside now. Speaking of wanting to see how things look like in the winter, that's a lake where people dock their boats, as you can see. So it's wild to see it completely covered in snow like that. Like in the spring, you begin to see like the boats come and people dock it. So that's a port right there. So yeah, I just think that's so cool. I actually didn't notice that because I have this view, but I didn't notice it until now, actually. Okay, so I'm back indoors now, and wow, all I can say is thank God for warmth, because my face still feels really cold. Anyways, where was I? Yes, so now, now back to Florence, and honestly, all in all, it was a really good day. Just a few things though, I definitely would not have done that all in one day, so I felt like I rushed through it. And I guess at the beginning I wanted it to be like a highlights day trip to just kind of see. So I definitely know, like, I would be going back to some of those places. Definitely Lucca, Livorno, I don't know. I think I'd rather go to Venice instead. But Lucca, I would definitely like to go back in the summer. So yeah, definitely would not have rushed through those places. Italy is just so vast. There's just so much to explore in Italy. So Italy is that country that I would never get tired of visiting. So anyways, let me know if you've been to Italy before. Tell me where you've been in the comment section, or is there any city in Italy or town that you're looking to go to? I'm really excited about visiting Cinque Terre. Like, it's a little fishing village with like all these colorful houses. That's also one of the places I first saw in Italy that I'm like, you know what, I have to go see for myself. So I definitely will be visiting that for sure in the summer, or in a shoulder season where it's still warm and most things won't be closed. Yeah, let me know in the comment section, and again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you guys like this type of, it's not a clean cut video, it's a little chaotic sometimes, but I think that's just life. Life is not picture perfect. So let me know if you like this type of videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.